Samir, Mr. Ashok Malik, Mr. Joshi, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'm a little sorry I came late because I was stuck up in that mobile congress. It is always a pleasure coming to Sci-Fi. Fourth or fifth, Samir? Oh my goodness. I thought five was enough. This congregation would have got bored of me, but he insisted I have to come. It is indeed very remarkable to note that they have kept technology, security and society as the theme of this interaction. I would very briefly unfold India's story, our own experience, and how I foresee the challenges in handling this portfolio for the last more than 5 years. India, as you all know, is a very ancient civilization of inclusion, of empowerment. Our IT companies over the years have done very well globally in terms of service sector. But when our government came to power, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave a larger vision. The first was, we have to reform, perform in order to transform. And in this process, technology has to play a very crucial role. Because Mr. Narendra Modi himself has been fascinated with technology since the early 90s, when it was still in the state of evolution. Digital India, Startup India, Stand Up India, Make in India are substantially technology-based programs. And therefore it was beyond the IT service sector in which our IT professionals have done a great job, including making India's talent felt in more than 200 cities of 80 countries, including USA, in a substantial way. What is Digital India? Digital India, simply put, is designed to empower ordinary Indians with the power of technology, to bridge the digital divide between digital haves and digital have-nots. And most important, to lead to digital inclusion. That is the most important component. And this process must be achieved by technology, which is low cost, homegrown, and developmental. This has been the framework on which we decided to lead this giant program of transforming India with the power of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the digital profile of India? A country of 1.3 billion, mobile phone only 1.20 billion. In the last 5 years, we have added mobile phones in India almost equal to the population of France and Italy. Population 1.30 billion, Aadhaar card 1.24 billion. What is Aadhaar card? I'll speak about it. Aadhaar card is digital identity to supplement the physical identity. How we are ushering in change? Because before I go to the details of it, I also outline other important principle of Narendra Modi government, whereby we have to use technology, banking the unbanked, funding the unfunded, and securing the unsecured. Because if you have to achieve inclusion, this principle must be in the forefront of our governmental initiatives, again powered by technology. I asked Samir what I am supposed to speak. He said, outline what you have achieved till now and also briefly reflect upon the future course. We opened close to 33 million bank accounts of the poor who were outside the bank account, which we call Jan Dhan. We linked that with Aadhaar and also seeded to mobile. Let me speak a little about Aadhaar. This is my Aadhaar card. What does it contain? My name, I'm a male, Riverside, the name of my father, and my permanent Patna address. That's all. And obviously the number of my card. What it does not contain: my faith, my religion, my income record, my medical record, and my sexual preferences by which I can be profiled. But the system contains my core biometrics, my fingerprints and my iris, kept in a safe and secure conditions, which cannot be even touched, leave aside broken by the billionth of the effort, backed by a parliamentary law with due regard to privacy. And the privacy is so tough that even if I, as an IT and Law Minister of India, seek to pass certain information, I can also be held up and punished for 3 years. That's the ecosystem we have developed. Now, how we worked it out? We opened the bank account of the poor, linked that with Aadhaar, seeded to the mobile, and started sending all the pro-poor welfare measures for the poor directly to the bank accounts. What we said, DBT. And I would like to just tell you one particular number. In the last 5 year plus, how much we have sent. Financial entitlement worth $119 billion, close to 8.52 lakh crores we have transferred to the bank account of the poor who were going to receive it. And how much we have saved, ladies and gentlemen? 19.8 billion US dollars. That means 1.41 lakh crore, which is to be pocketed by middlemen and fictitious claimants. The digital identity eliminates the middlemen and fictitious claimants. Again, pro-poor initiative, digital inclusion, and through mobile phone being informed by SMS that your money has been sent to your bank account. This troika of Aadhaar, bank account, and mobile is developing a new ecosystem of inclusion. And then we promoted various banking correspondents, Aadhaar-enabled pay system, whereby they go to your village, you need not even come to the bank and deliver it. The idea behind this digital identity is you can change your name, you can do a plastic surgery on your face, but the fingerprints and the iris remains something very static, which the divine has created for you, and they don't vary from individual to individual. That is the essence of this Aadhaar system. The second thing we said, if Digital India has to succeed, it must become a mass movement of the involvement of the people of India. Now today, we have delivered 5,000 crore plus, close to $1 billion by way of scholarship with the application of Aadhaar. E-hospital, digital appointment, e-visa. We have developed many public digital platform. What's that? E-NAM. Farmers must negotiate to sell their produce to these digital markets available online. That is eNAM. eGEM. What is eGEM? Again, a public platform, whereby government can purchase by negotiating on that public platform. These are various measures we took over the years to make digital delivery of services to common people for convenience. But let me tell you, it's good commerce also, it's good business also. And as I see, the hinterland of India has become the biggest proponent of this digital transformation. Mr. Malik and Mr. Joshi, there's a very interesting story. When in 2014 I went to Bangalore to meet the IT giants, after my interaction for a couple of hours with them, when I came out, I saw a large number of young people from Bihar, UP, Rajasthan, Assam waiting to meet me. They said, your new government has come, please do something. We can revert to our small towns. Bangalore is very costly. I thought I'll do something for them. And much to the opposition of my department, I took a firm stand of opening business processing center in small towns of India with proper subsidy entitlement. Ladies and gentlemen, this only indicates the digital appetite of India. Some of you may not know, but many of them will know. Today, this process is started operating in small towns like Guwahati, like Bhubaneswar, like Jaleshwar, like Nagaland, Kohima. My own town, Patna, has 9 BPOs started working. Muzaffarpur, Aurangabad, Bhivandi. You name 200 BPOs in 80 small towns, B, C towns, category towns of India. Again, digital inclusion. I want to tell you a very interesting story of digital payment, how India is developing a good business case also because of these initiatives. Today, digital payment, the Prime Minister is very keen about that. All of us work, various platforms have come. The digital payment transaction, 2016, it was 918 million transactions, 91.83 crores. And the worth was 12 lakh crore, 1.57 trillion US dollars. In July 2019, 2 months earlier, transaction has reached 332 crore, 3.32 billion, and the worth is 344 lakh crore, worth 4.8 trillion US dollars. Now kindly see the widening reach of a new area of business where common people are participating. We have got growth in Bheem UPI transaction. Again, in August 2019, the transaction, one of the public platform I talked about, is 1.54 lakh crore, 21 billion US dollars. E-commerce, again. The hinterland of India is promoting e-commerce in a very, very big way. We are very happy about it. And for me, the biggest achievement and assurance comes to me when I go to villages and see a young boy with a smartphone in his hand seeking information from Google. That's the change I was looking forward to. We have developed a different network of common service centers. What is that? Digital kiosks, mostly in the villages or semi-urban areas. It was in a very ramshackle state, 80,000. I have detected currently 365,000, about 250,000 in Gram Panchayats. And what are they doing? From your land records to digital payments, to passport making, to digital literacy. Close to 1.2 million people work there. About 100,000 are women entrepreneurs. This we unleashed and the people started responding. How I see the future? You rightly said, The digital world is an unreal world, virtual world. But before that, seeing Anki present here, I also need to mention one thing more. Why India is a huge place of digital business. Facebook has the biggest presence in the world in India. WhatsApp has the biggest presence in the world in India. In app download economy, India is second in the world. Take the case of electronic manufacturing, another area which I handle. India is surging very fast. When our government had come to power in 2014, we had only 2 mobile factory manufacturing in India. Now we have 268 mobile factories manufacturing mobile in India, and India has become the second biggest mobile manufacturer in the world. The startup, I'm very proud, the startup representation is here. The Startup India, we started formally in 2015. Today India is home to 21,000 registered startups, out of which 8,000 are technology startups. And many of them are servicing clients in USA, Europe, and nearly a dozen of them are unicorn. That means $1 billion turnover. With this scenario, the achievement brings assurance, but also challenges. The first challenge is, it is a virtual world, unreal world. But the problem of the virtual world are felt in the real world. And that comes the challenge for policymakers. How I see it. Internet, ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Joshi rightly pointed out, is one of the finest creations of human mind. But if internet is global, it must have linkage with the local ideas, local culture. And I've said it on global platforms, I repeat here, any kind of new imperialism through internet, India will not accept. Let the world become inclusive as far as use of internet is concerned. Second, if internet is a great instrument of human empowerment, it must be safe and secure. It's very important. And there, the civil society needs to work together. I always say, our Supreme Court has already held privacy as a fundamental right, and we all respect that. But in order to allow an individual to safeguard his privacy, his internet availability must be safe and secure. That's simple logic, I have to say. And in India, we never went to the debate of net neutrality, because the international crowd is here. When the whole issue came about, I told Indian Parliament, in India, a right of access of internet is not negotiable. And this is very clear and firm. And though it is a matter of past, but I want to repeat, my good friend Mark Zuckerberg came with the idea of free basics. Come and enjoy free. When we found that in order to get free, you have to enter through only one gate, I said, no, India is a democracy. We believe in many gates, not one gate. And finally agreed. These self-imposed discipline we have kept on ourselves. Does a terrorist have the right of privacy? Does a person who provokes mayhem has the right of privacy? Those are questions which we are debating. And the irony of the situation, ladies and gentlemen, is those who abuse this beautiful platform to foment terrorism, to radicalize, to provoke mayhem, seek the plea of privacy. Our Supreme Court rightly said terrorists cannot take the plea of privacy at all. Another issue which I am debating, and I'm happy, this is a stand which I am taking for the last 1 year. Samir has been now taken over by USA, America, and Australia. And what's that? WhatsApp is a fine instrument. But if a particular mischief maker abuses WhatsApp to circulate fake news designed to create mayhem, rumor mongering, leading to killing, what should be done? We don't need rocket science as to how it is. On the same day, on the same issue, in the same area, millions of fake rumors are being circulated and circulated. The origin must be known. That's important. Therefore, some degree of balance and pragmatism has to be there. Therefore, cybersecurity becomes important. And as our Prime Minister has rightly stated, cyber war is a bloodless war. And the entire global civil society need to come together to address it. Because if we don't ultimately do, many problems will come about. I need to speak a little about data. Data has become, I don't want to repeat that cliche, data is the new oil. But what is important is, data is emerging as a big asset. And in India, it is very important that we generate data in billions and billions. How do we handle data? Data is emerging as a huge commerce. Data is emerging as a case of huge innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are working our data protection law. It will go to the Parliament soon. The details I cannot share, but I can only give my general observations. We need to have a pragmatic view about it. And what's that? Data availability, data utility, data innovation, data commerce, and data privacy. All must work in coordination and sync. That's how I have framed my initial premise for this. For instance, in a particular area, illness is there in substantial number. You must have the data. What is the problem? Historical, social. But that data must be anonymized. Therefore, anonymity of data is equally important when we talk of data commerce. Then data refinery is going to become a big area of commerce and also a startup enterprise. Cleaning of data. Data being bereft of noise. Refinement of data. And let me make it very clear and firmly. We will resist if we think a new kind of data imperialism will emerge in the world, that few countries will get in possession or monopolize all the data of the world. No, it is plainly unacceptable. Therefore, I have also talked about data sovereignty. This is the evolutionary position. We'll have to talk about it, discuss about it, and come to a conclusion as to how we arrive at the solutions. But ladies and gentlemen, it is a very fascinating world, whose potential we don't know. After handling this portfolio, I have been a minister in the past, in the Vajpayee government, minister again, handled a diverse range of portfolios, but handling the IT portfolio and seeing the metamorphosis happening in the country and the world, at times I am myself surprised as to where the world is heading to. This whole artificial intelligence, AI, I am reflecting now on the future. What is AI? Machine is meant to think. It reduces physical effort. It also reduces intellectual effort. Fine. This new area has to be properly leveraged for healthcare, for education, for agriculture. Very good. We need to do that. I hear of driverless car as a new area of achievement. Fine. But then my law minister portfolio comes into being. If a driverless car causes accident, whose responsibility is? These are ethical issues which we have to address. Obviously, employment is the problem. I always say, if technology displaces 10 jobs, technology creates 100 jobs. That mind must be there with the policymakers and all those who are involved. In India, ladies and gentlemen, in the IT sector, about 4 million people work directly, one-third women. And about 1.3 million work indirectly. In the electronic manufacturing I talked about 600,000 people work. I talked of common service center, the BPO. But technology also gives shocks. And that is an area which is not free from difficulty. How do we address that? I think civil society, democratic society have to work together. But technology ultimately does what? And that is my concluding shot today, ladies and gentlemen. Technology ultimately empowers. The most defining moment of technology is it empowers. And how it empowers, I'll give you a very fascinating example. I was contesting the Lok Sabha elections. And one of the part of my area is very, very, I would say, backward, across the Ganga. It was a no-go area for my party. But this time they called me. It was a huge rally for me. I crossed over by boat. Electricity has come recently there because of our effort to electrify all the villages. There were about 5,000, 10,000 people were sitting, and then I was to speak. And two boys were talking. Selfie was a big craze everywhere, you know that. But I was observing their talk, how technology empowers. And Ankit, this will make you happy. What they were saying, at first I'll say in the local language, then I'll translate in English. जल्दी फोटोआ खींची ना रे फेसबुक पर लोड करेला हो. Please do the selfie quickly. We have to load on my Facebook with me. I was impressed. Where electricity has reached recently, the aspiration is there. And what technology does is, it accelerates aspiration. It empowers. That process also had problems. But our experience of handling technology for the last close to 40 years is, there may be occasional hiccups, but technology wins with little endeavor of the human mind. And my last take is, regardless of all these innovations, the human mind and the human feeling and emotions must continue to play a role. Because if the world has to succeed, if it is bereft of emotions, compassion, and mind, and the power of mind, this world will not be a stable world. That, I think, is the larger challenge we will have to grapple with. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.